What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Philly Talk with PA. I'm having a great day. For once in my life, I am having a great day. Not just a good day, not just I'm all right. I'm having a great day. And we're going to get into the two biggest reasons why we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts. We are going to talk about Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. We're going to talk about it. Let's start this off. Most of you know, I was at the game, and that's why this is getting out a bit later than a lot of other guys y'all tune into. But nevertheless, this game, you know, I want to start this off. For anyone that doesn't think divisional games are going to be tough, no matter the record, you are an idiot. The Denver Broncos beat the Raiders 10-7. Miami blew out Buffalo. The Saints swept the Panthers. Sam Darnold throws 4 interceptions and they only lose by 2. Divisional games, no matter the record, are always tough. And if you can't see that, respectfully, just step aside. But nevertheless, this team, resilient, my man, BG, friend of the show, Sam. He got home, hit it on him, was doing it. Jalen Phillips, shout out Jalen Phillips. Obviously, Mariota, concussion, but he wasn't really doing much of nothing. Terry McLaurin, pretty much all his yards came on that one catch when he was getting guarded by Dory. Why he was getting guarded by Dory Jackson one-on-one, I don't know. But the only time he caught a ball on Quinion was when he kind of like fell down on that route. And then like Quinion thought like, oh, he's not even going to catch this. And then, Mariota throws him the ball. And he's like, he catches it for like 6 yards. And he's like, okay, we'll let you have that. Once again, Quinion, we just want to keep reiterating this for people who don't understand. Quinion Mitchell is so good. You do not hear his name until the fourth quarter when the commentator makes a comment about, oh, look how good Quinion Mitchell is playing again today. Like this is Darrelle Revis. This is Richard Sherman. This is, Champ Bailey level we're seeing right now. That's not overhyping. That is factual. That is what we are seeing week in, week out. This dude continues to lock up your favorite receiver, whether it's Amon-Ra, whether it's Terry, whether it's Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Luther Burden. Cortland Sutton was a tough test. That's a big dude. But CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, your favorite receiver, he's locking him up. He's putting him in the penitentiary. He's putting him in there. And, he did that again tonight. Shout out Q. And then obviously, Josh Johnson, the journeyman. He's not built for this, the big game. Coop, got that pick. Jumped the out route. Just excellent read. As soon as Josh Johnson let the ball go, I was like, it's a pick. It's a pick. And if that wasn't enough, if the defense getting it going once again wasn't enough, the running game, finally, the running game looked fruitful. 34 carries, 207 yards. This was finally, this was what Eagles fans have wanted to see all season. Saquon Barkley, 21 for 132, touchdown. Obviously had that one he ran through like 4 broken Commanders tackles where it looks like, Yeah, like if you freeze it in mid frame, it looks like he's about to go down. But he's got that squat strength, kept it going. Jalen Hurts running the ball. Once again, when Jalen Hurts runs the ball, the Eagles offense cannot be stopped. That's factual. It's not innuendo, hyperbole, factual. And this running game got it going tonight. Commanders couldn't stop it. Eagles, looking to take momentum with that into Buffalo next week. Passing, it was good. It wasn't obviously. Once again, I saw a Cowboys fan hating on Twitter. Jalen Hurts under 200 yards. Jalen Hurts did once again what he had to do. AJ, got going in the second quarter. Devontae, first and third quarter. Dallas Goedert, breaking the game open with that touchdown. Jalen Hurts is doing what he has to do, finding the open guys, not putting the ball in harm's way. Clearly, that's a winning formula. Pair that with the running game finally going. Now, next week, I don't know. That we saw, little skirmish, little tussling end of the game. I do not know if Tyler Steen is going to be available to play next week. Like that's a serious concern now because we don't know what the league's gonna do. Obviously, him, Quan Martin, my main man Mikey Sanders, still Darius Cooper. Pretty much everyone was involved in that zone. But nevertheless, if Lane Johnson's able to come back, but then Tyler Steen is out, then that right side of the offensive line is still compromised. I don't know if that's Matt Pryor. I don't know who's coming in there, but Tyler Steen, not playing the best already. This season in totality. But losing him next week against Buffalo, that's not the best game. You want to miss. And I'm sure that's what Stoutland's telling him, what Sirianni's telling him, probably what the teammates are telling him. But I like this team, that fire, and I saw something and about Saquon. Saquon found that hunger today. Saquon found that drive. He was hitting the holes with, anticipating early, quick, look exactly like last year. He broke off that 50-yard run late in the fourth. We thought he was going to take it to the house, but safety, had a good angle on him, slowed him down. But Saquon Barkley found that hunger, that drive again today. 21 for 132. Tud. Picked up the blitz very well. Off all around offensively, very good performance once again. Jalen Hurts, not putting the ball in harm's way, doing what he had to do to make plays to win, and that offensively, Eagles are looking very good now. Injury wise, Jeremiah Trotter went into the tent. I don't know what was wrong with him, but we do know Nakobe Dean. Now, next week, you are going to need, if you want to beat Josh Allen, Nakobe Dean is a must. He is a must. And if you're not only down him potentially, but also Jeremiah Trotter as well, Jahad Campbell, it's your time, brother. You, Zach Bond, you got to carry that middle. You got to carry. If Nakobe Dean does not play next week, I need to see Jahad Campbell QB spying the heck out of Josh Allen. There is no way that it will be a close game and it's 3rd and 15 and there's no one spying on Josh Allen and he manages to escape the collapsing pocket and picks up 20 yards like he's done multiple times this year. That cannot happen. So Jahad Campbell / Nakobe Dean, if Nakobe Dean is ready to go, hopefully next week, we're going to need that from y'all. But we know that linebacker's core is going to show up. But that's obviously something to look at. Dory Jackson did not have his best game, but He had a couple plays, but the one play he got trucked, he got ran over. I was like, bro. At least he didn't get the first down. At least whoever the running back was did not get the first down. Um, Jake Elliott. Ooh. To miss not one, not two, but three kicks in the first half. Two in the span of 90 seconds. Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott needs to redeem himself in the postseason like he did last season to keep his job. It's getting to a point where 48 to 61 used to be money for bro, and now fans are hoping it doesn't go wide left. Fans are hoping it doesn't sail over the right upright. Like Jake Elliott, he needs to have the type of postseason he had last season where he's kicking through the snow, he's kicking through the rain, bad conditions in order to keep his job. Because today's performance left 6 points at least on the board. You can't have that against Buffalo. You cannot have that against the Rams, the Bears, the Packers. You cannot have that. But I trust in Jake. We trust in Jake. Eagles fans, you got to stand with the players. Yeah, he didn't have his best day, but you got to stand with him. Just be, just gotta you gotta execute. And this is why we were saying offensively, with offensive struggles and Kevin Patullo, like people can yell at Patullo all they want. That's fair, but players get paid too. Players on the field, they get paid big bucks. Jalen Hurts making like 54 million. AJ Brown making 30 plus. Devontae making, how much he's making. Saquon, offensive line. So I mean, players are getting paid. Players got to execute, and Jake Elliott did not execute today. Hopefully next week, in probably worse conditions in Buffalo, he shows up in the big moment. We know last time they played Buffalo, 59-yard field goal in the driving rain. He showed up. Hopefully, he brings that to the table this week. But overall, Eagles pulling out that dub. And Cowboys fans, a lot of y'all was, kiki and jockeying, Commanders gonna sweep y'all. Buffalo's gonna beat the brakes off y'all. All I know, first back-to-back NFC East champs since 2004 when who did it? Philadelphia Eagles. Donovan McNabb, Westbrook, Dawkins, the crew. See, we rocking that Dawkins right now. But Cowboys, Pickens, Lamb, Dak, better luck next year. There's always next year for Cowboys fans. The Mervyn Overshown, 92 million. Y'all can figure out who I'm talking about. Mr. 92 million. Like, better luck next year. Y'all really thought y'all had it, but hey, in the biggest games, biggest moments, certain players disappeared. Dak, Pickens, 92 million. Now y'all can just go Google. Y'all keep hearing me say 92 M's. Just go Google who on the Cowboys makes 92 M's. Go Google him. And go ask yourself why someone who had a 1-year stretch of getting interceptions against horrible quarterbacks now gets paid 92 M's. Y'all figure who I'm talking about. But that's neither here nor there. Eagles, defensively stout. I know once again Marcus Mariota / Josh Johnson. That's not really, much to write home about, but Running the game, was stout. Passing game, as we just said, Terry was nowhere to be found. Debo Samuel. Debo Samuel. 3 catches for 35 yards? After all the Niners stuff, then you come to the division. This is all you got, bruh? That's all you could offer? Wow. Wow. Hey, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. But last thing we'll say about the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is now the first quarterback to have 5 different coordinators, first 5 seasons, make the playoffs, win the division. He's the first one. Tom Brady didn't do that. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Jalen Hurts is the system. First 5 seasons, 5 different coordinators, made the playoffs every single time, put the team on his back. We saw today. He opens up the running game. Saquon opens up the running game. Opens up the passing game. Now Goddard's wide open. Now AJ's open. Now it's Devontae, Jahan Dotson, couple nice grabs. Darius Cooper blocking on the outside for Tank Bigsby. We see it. Jalen Hurts is the system. And it's really getting hard for, the haters to find excuses and nitpick all this stuff when time and time again, Cuz just wins. It's really hard to, stare the facts in the face and lie, but they still try. That's beside me, but hey, Hurts, QB1, breed of one. Shout out to bro. Now, there's another team, South Philly. They played the now Xfinity Center. Philadelphia 76ers, man. Now, last night, Knicks, and that was a good game. And for Knicks fans who are trying to whine and argue Knicks, this is their 3rd game in 4 days. The Knicks were missing, Miles McBride. The Sixers are missing their best player when healthy. Like the New York Knicks, it's comical because every time we win, it's always something. Like y'all didn't beat us for real. Like we had all this other stuff going on. Like if y'all really played us, like y'all wouldn't have done nothing. And so for the Knicks, once again, 2 of your starters had not played in a while and were in their first games back. Joel Embiid is not playing, and you still can't win. Now, shout out Tyrese Maxey. Shout out VJ Edgecombe. Clutch time demon. Like, the NBA should genuinely be scared of this dude. Clutch time VJ last night against the Knicks. Absolute cinema. He had that putback J off the Maxey missed jumper. Maxey got cooking. Corner 3. Andre Drummond suddenly found his 3-point stroke. The Philadelphia Sixers are looking very nasty right now. Obviously tonight, big win versus Dallas. 121-114. Maxey again in the clutch. VJ dropped the, nice calm little, points to go along with it. Sixers looking nice. I want to talk about Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey right now should be top 3 in the MVP discussion. I don't think that's even, I'm trying to pull up the stuff here cuz right now he's just straight balling, man. Like I'm looking at it, tonight. Can I interest you? 38 points versus the Mavs. Like, and it's crazy. Like his first season, in the league. Um, really, really exciting to see. Started at 8 points per game behind Ben Simmons, and I'll be honest. At first, I was like, he's just maybe he might be another. No disrespect, Emmanuel Quickly. That we know, man, Quickly can ball, but at 8 points per game, doesn't really have the 3-point shot. Can't really create his own shot. You know, he might just be a Lou Williams. That was my thought on Tyrese Maxey rookie year. Next season, doubles the point production. He's playing, you know, you know, better extremely well. Simmons is not really in the picture. And we're like, okay. Then the next year, kind of James Harden. And, James Harden mentorship. And after Harden leaves, we see Maxey take over, go from 20 points to 25 points to 27 points. Now 31 points a game. This is a guy, and this is why I always love to compare Tyrese Maxey and Devontae Smith. Tyrese Maxey and Devontae Smith are examples of guys drafted by Philly. They put everything on the line every night. Don't complain. Do what's asked of them. Do their job. And we've seen them grow every year, take major strides. Tyrese Maxey went from averaging 8 points a game rookie year, now averaging 31 points a game. Devontae Smith, I still remember his first touchdown against the Falcons, first game, first catch. He went from that being like, is he going to just be another guy, to now being a wide receiver one on most NFL teams. Tyrese Maxey, Devontae Smith, two guys they put on for Philly. They rep it to the fullest. Shout out to those two guys playing at their apex right now for their respective teams. What Tyrese Maxey's doing is nasty. Like it's not even fair. Like I see guys trying to struggling to guard him night in, night out. It's just, and here is, and this is actually nasty. I just looked at the third quarter for the Sixers. The Philadelphia Sixers have been one of the worst third quarter teams in the NBA. Getting outscored, poor turnovers, bad defensive reps. Like literally they get outscored by Dallas tonight, even though they win. They get outscored by Dallas 35-23 in the third quarter. Remember, like 2 weeks ago against the Lakers, you go into the half up 5. You go into the half up 8. Then you end the quarter down 5. It's like a 13-point swing. You end up losing that game. Obviously, LeBron turned back the clock on us, but this is still a Nick Nurse issue that he needs to address, needs to fix if this team wants to go deep. But nevertheless, they came out tonight, big time winning against the Mavericks, now heading into a bit more of an easy stretch here for the 76ers. But this team, VJ again tonight, 26 points, 6 rebounds on efficient shooting from the field. Maxey 38-4. Like, and you know what? Shout out Dominic Barlow. Because when we first signed him, it was kind of like, because we didn't really have that power forward type, or when PG's out, we didn't really have that guy. And now it's Dominic Barlow. Excellent defensively. Dominic Barlow and Adam Bona have been sensational defensively. And then offensively, the offensive output has been incredible as well, especially when Quentin Grimes hasn't gotten it going most nights recently. Jared McCain, for some reason, has been getting minutes. So to see Dominic Barlow stepping up, especially tonight, like 21 points, just something really great to see. another unsung hero for the Sixers squad. Once again they had it to a bit more of an easy stretch. But nevertheless, this Sixers team really exciting to watch. I got hope. VJ and Maxi, they giving me hope. All you can do is hope. But you know, rare time Philly wins tonight. Obviously, Flyers just had to sell the bag. I think they lost to the Sabres. Just had to sell the bag. But nevertheless, last thing, quick before we hop off this, John. Jalen Hurts. If let me gather myself here. If Jalen Hurts figures out that, we don't have to do too much. We saw him do today. Like, we don't have to do too much. We don't have to force it to AJ. We don't have to run up the middle, force feed it when it's not working. And I'm not like considering Jalen Hurts doesn't know that. But I'm saying if the offense can because it's seen last 2 games they kind of been more free flowing. If you continue to just do that, well, first off, Buffalo's defense can't stand with them. If the offense plays like they did today, they can't. Buffalo's defense can stand with them. You play the Commanders again in Philly, they can't stand with y'all. Play whoever you get in the wild card, they can't stand with y'all. If you just play the game, you don't force it to certain guys. AJ got his numbers today, and they won because they did what they had to do. They didn't force it into tight windows. Sanders still had a nice breakup in a tight window on AJ. Once again, Mikey Sanders still one of 2 DBs I've ever seen slow down AJ Brown. Him and Pat Surtain, that's it. But just keep doing what they're doing. Defense, they're gonna make plays. Jake Elliott's gonna find his way, and this Eagles team, hopefully can figure it out. They look like they're getting back on their feet. Big one coming up in Orchard Park. And we'll talk about that, obviously more later in the week. But hey, it's your boy, Philly Talk with PA. We always keep it a stack. We always keep it a buck. I'm out, y'all.